Hello. Imagine a world where, as children, we were not only taught the ABCs and a multiplication table, but the fundamental principles of money. In schools, they teach us important subjects such as history or geography. But imagine a classroom where, alongside maths, we also learn the depths of budgeting, investing, financial planning, and actual ways to earn money. Let's step back and look at the present, where our education neglects the most critical skill in modern world, financial literacy. All said, let's dive into a simple, yet a revolutionary question. What if money was taught from a young age? As I mentioned, financial literacy is one of the most, if not the most important skill a person can have in the 21st century. If we look at a bigger picture, we will see that everything we do in life is done in order to make money, whether it is studying, working, or starting a business. Learning the fundamental principles of money from a young age gives a child a much broader perspective of what to do in life, meaning where and how to earn money. Imagine two individuals graduating high school. One of them understands the depths of budgeting, investing, complexities of loans, and has other financial skills, while the other lacks the knowledge to make informed financial decisions. The first person enters adulthood with all the knowledge to navigate loans and plan for his future, while the other is vulnerable to debt traps and is unprepared for the financial challenges that life throws at him. This example underlines just how important financial literacy can be, and you know better than me which person you want to be like. Understanding money is not just something to be talked about theoretically. In fact, every person needs to know how to use the skill in real life. Let's consider an adult entering the workforce with all the academic education but the lack of financial knowledge. He may be the best worker in the industry, but when it comes to money, he will struggle if he doesn't know how to budget the money, manage the debt, invest some, and so on. Looking at a bigger picture, we will see just how important it is to understand how money works fundamentally. By integrating real-world experience with financial education, we equip students with the tools necessary to not only change their lives, but to contribute positively to society, helping the economic growth and prosperity. We all know the guarantee to success is studying very hard as we later get a job, thus we earn money. There is nothing wrong with this narrative, but other than earning money, we also need to know how to control this money, because in life we have to make informed financial decisions. For example, buying a house. Well, in order to buy a house, a person needs to get his money together, but usually the salary is never enough, so what he does is he takes a loan. Then over time, he needs to cover this loan, but sometimes there might be some problems covering the debt. That's where financial education comes in handy. If we actually know how to budget the money and actually understand the complexities of these loans that we need, then covering the debt would be so much easier. Only if we do not address the gap, we will face the consequences in forms of ruined lives of countless people. That is something we should avoid at all costs. First of all, I'm not the only one talking about the importance of financial education. One of the biggest organizations, the OECD, Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, established a network of public experts in 2008, the INFE, International Network on Financial Educations. Well, they have written an article called The Financial Education in Schools, which tells us about the real problem, and based on the article, I can evidently say that this problem is real. For example, in the US, only 27% of the population knows about inflation and can do simple interest calculations. In the UK, 52% of the teenagers have been in debt by the time they are 17. The problem is clear, so the INFE also gives us a very important recommendation. It is crucial that every child is educated financially from as young age as possible when entering the school. So financial education is evidently important, but just how can it be integrated with the school system? There are a lot of ways to start with. First and foremost, financial education can be combined with school curriculum, as it can be added to already existing subjects such as maths, geography, or even civic education. This can include lessons about budgeting, about investing, saving, understanding credit, taxes, and basic economic principles. Professional development or training for teachers can be provided to enhance their understanding of financial concepts so they can later teach these subjects effectively. Financial professionals or experts can be invited to conduct workshops, seminars, or interactive sessions about money management, banking, investment, and other relevant topics. Real-life simulations or games can be created which simulate financial scenarios. This would teach students about budgeting, about investing decisions, and consequences of their financial choices. Specialized courses can be offered focused solely on financial literacy. These courses could cover topics such as personal finance, entrepreneurship, or financial planning. Well, there are a lot of ways to teach money in schools, but for all of this to be possible, we, the students, also need to act. Only if all of us realize how important financial education can be, we can change the world completely. But for this to be possible, well, it should not only be taught in schools, because the information we have today is beyond unlimited. And only if you contribute to our free time to learning the depths of money, for example, rather than wasting this precious time, well, I guarantee you that not only your lives, but the lives of countless other people will change in a much better way. Thank you.